Okay, so once again, Nick with us. Welcome, Nick. And today
you.
you bought a beautiful
1971 280S.
W108. Really in nice condition as well. You said it had been resprayed.
It's been resprayed, leather work's been done,
Okay.
and the woodwork has been done.
I love the red interior, hey. It just really stands out here. I mean, for me, it's got to have a red interior, 108.
It just complements the white.
Oh, it does, yeah.
You know? And it's got the lollipop stick.
Oh, yeah,
the
the
manual,
gear
the
shift.
floor shift lollipop
Nice.
stick.
When did that actually come out? Did that actually only come out in the early 70s, or was it always an option or as an alternative to the column shift on the earlier ones?
All the 108s had it as an option.
Oh, really? Hey?
But most of them were
from launch?
column shift.
Yeah. I know, most of them are, hey,
Yeah.
the manuals.
You did
and-
get 250Ss as well, you know.
with floor shift as an option.
Yes. So through the whole production range, they had the floor shift.
Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. And this is light ivory?
Yes.
Okay. What else has been done on the car?
A few mechanical things that the owner's done over the last, I think, 2-3 years of ownership.
Okay.
He's done the shock absorbers, the front brakes, the master cylinder, the radiator's been serviced, and a few other odds and ends with the suspension.
The woodwork's beautiful. You say that has been done. Hey?
Yes, that's been done. The dash has been done.
But even around here, I mean, this doesn't look like it's been done, but it's still in exceptionally good condition, eh?
Now the woodwork on the doors is still original, but the woodwork on the dashboard's been done. And the carpets have been replaced.
And the dash itself as well is in really, really nice condition.
Yeah, no cracks on the dashboard, which is a plus.
And you say the carpets have been redone as well.
Yes.
And you know what's so nice about that, in this particular job, is that they look original.
Yes.
You know, very often you get them done and it's a completely different design to what, but I mean, that's
Exactly.
close enough.
The typical CDA, these London plant grey carpets.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
So this motor is a M130 920, huh?
Yes.
920. So with the twin Zeniths, and just your bulletproof motors, 104 kilowatts and around 220, 230 Newton meters, I think.
Yes.
Somewhere around there.
All the torque is low down.
Yeah, they're really, really nice cars. I also like this, and these over here were standardized across the range. I know a lot of people obviously like to fit them as an option
Yes.
later on, but they were standardized here in South Africa from 72 on.
Yes.
So,
This car would have had the tombstone style headlights or grasshopper
yeah,
headlamps, but most people
upgrade to
you
these.
know, upgrade for their own personal taste.
Yeah.
They prefer it.
I prefer that as well. I think the stack headlights are beautiful, and they were standardized just after this car, you know, from 72 on, all 108s that were made here in South Africa, and they're sold till 73 here, I believe.
Yes,
They all had stacks, the 280S, the SE, everything.
correct.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, it's really nice. Let's open up the bonnet and have a look. I see a lot of the videos you guys are asking about the extra little reflectors on all cars, on the W123s, 126s, obviously the early ones. And they were regulated. We were mandated to have them by law here in South Africa. It had to be an SABS approved reflector, both front and rear. And that only disappeared, I think, late 80s. Disappeared. Prior to that, even the 123s, you got those little reflectors at the back.
Correct.
Yeah. Bulletproof engines, these, eh?
Now they're lovely motors, very high revving motors. They're built to rev all day.
Yeah.
This car's got the paper air filter element because you
Okay.
normally had them with the
Oil bath. Yeah, that would be over here.
Yes.
When did they change that? About 70, 71?
Look, most 71s and up models had the paper element, but again, that was also an option. You could pick when
Incredible,
you ordered the
eh?
car new. Did you want a oil bath air filter or the paper element?
It's amazing, you never give you those options today, eh?
No.
That you could actually specify what sort of air filter you wanted. Incredible.
And
Just
back then, you could also opt for the suspension. There was You could get a stiffer suspension as well.
Okay.
I've seen them on data cards where it's for
Rough roads or
they
whatever.
call it heavy duty or rough roads.
Or towing or something
towing.
like that. Okay, interesting. And you know, it's so hard to believe. I mean, you look at what a car costs today, and back then, 1971, 5,600 Rand cash bought this for you.
Yeah.
Brand new. Crazy, huh? Now you go shopping, and that's a trolley of shopping.
Yeah,
or two.
for a week.
Yeah.
If a week.
That's the scary stuff. It really is a nice condition. Nick,
I
I mean,
must
the
say the
chrome
paint
and
job
everything.
was done up well, and also especially a lot of people, they always miss this part out when restoring their 108s. Under the wheel arches, it's supposed to be white, but a lot of, or depending on what color the vehicle is, in this case it would be white. But most people just spray a black rubberizing on. And if you look here up in the front, the same thing, and also there's a black cover there that should be black to whatever color the car is.
Nick, maybe fire it up, because the one thing with me, with these cars, is just that exhaust note. It's got such a specific exhaust note there.
That iconic rasp.
Yeah, I know, it's just beautiful there. And give it a rev. I mean, that's just a 108 sound. Beautiful. Really, really nice. And the motor's quiet, eh?
No, when you set up those valve clearances perfect,
Yeah.
they're very quiet. But the 108, in my opinion, it's my favorite 60s, 70s Mercedes, you know.
And the S, you know, the SE with that electronic injection. I mean, you know how to work on it, but you need to really be a footy to work on it. The carbs, they're complicated as well, but simpler.
Yeah. The fuel injection can be quite high maintenance. The mechanical pumps to renovate them,
Yeah.
the cost of injectors.
Yeah.
But the carburettors, you know, if you know what you're doing, it's quite straightforward to just buy the rebuild kit and do the carbs.
And
up.
those are available.
They're available.
Yeah. Basically, that's the nice thing about, you know, for a car that old, 54 years old, the parts are actually still available. There's nothing that you battle with, really. Well, you need to look a little bit, but I mean, you can find them.
Practically everything's available,
Yeah.
even new. Of course, most of the stuff would be available overseas.
So new parts for something like this you'd get from where? From a place like Mercedes Classic Center, or are there other?
There's a few places. There's a place called Neermoller, Mercedes Classic Center.
Okay.
You
So
just
there's a
need
few
to look
different
on the
places.
web.
Okay, that's nice to know. And windscreens, I know there's a supplier here in South Africa as well.
Yes, this is a new windscreen.
Yeah, it looks, and tinted as well. Beautiful, man. Yeah, so as we leave the old Merc warehouse, such a comfortable chair. It's like a lounge suite.
It's a
eh?
sofa.
No, it is. It really is, eh? I mean,
Very
it's just,
comfy in the back.
yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know what happened with chairs. They aren't like this anymore, eh?
You know, like when you watch all the production or technical videos from the 70s on these cars, you know, a lot of design and thought went into the seats, you know, especially with the springs. They made a lot of test equipment, you know, to test the rigidity and so forth.
Why did they not remember this? Eh? This is the question that needs to be asked.
The seats were designed, I think, what, by orthopedics, or they were involved.
I mean, I'm really, really comfortable, and it struck me as soon as I got into the car. And you know, a lot of them are comfortable, but this is really, really comfortable and soft and supple. Eh?
Yeah.
The guys who redid these seats did a really, really good job.
No, they picked a very high quality leather. You know, a Napa style of leather.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so let's get on to Seaview Road here. I'm not going to cane it, obviously. There's not a hell of a lot of petrol. Mind you, there is. We're going uphill.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that pulls beautifully, huh?
Oh, they're lovely cars.
Close the window here. It's so usable, huh?
Oh, they're usable cars. I've driven to Cape Town in a 108 2-3 times. They're lovely cars on the open road.
I mean, just the 108 is probably, if you look at the late 60s and early 70s, probably amongst the most refined cars at the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they're solid vehicles. Well built. I've restored a 108 and you can see the amount of effort into ensuring ride rigidity and sound insulation was of another level.
And they weren't actually that rust prone, even here at the coast. I mean, I've bought a few over the years for stripping, but those have been coastal cars, and even that in comparison to later ones, I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yes.
I don't know how you found it restoring them. I mean,
look, they've got their typical areas, where they would rust, if the cars obviously stood outside and weren't well maintained.
yeah.
But overall, the rust areas of the car was not that of a bad design.
No, not at all. And if you look at today, it's exceptionally windy. I mean, it really is windy. It's blowing probably 80, 90 k's an hour here.
Yes.
And it's tracking nicely.
Yes.
I'm not fighting the steering. I'm adjusting it slightly here and there. But I mean, I'm watching the other cars in front of us. They're all over the place.
German engineering.
Yeah. Here in South Africa, we only got the 280S and 280SE. Let's go up Old Seaview Road here. We didn't get the V8s, of course.
That was on option.
Yeah.
Import.
That's right. They weren't made here in East London, though, huh?
No.
The V8s.
No, they weren't made in East London.
And they were launched here when?
Look, the 108 came out in 65, 66.
Yeah.
I think it's 65 actually.
As a 250.
As a 250, and you got the 250S, 250SE.
Yeah.
And then you also got the 300SE at the time, which was the motor taken from the 300SE Fintail.
Oh, okay.
And then the facelift, that came in about 67, 68, and then that was the introduction of the 280. So then you got the 280S and the 280SE.
With the M130?
Yes. But
Okay.
beyond that, you got the 280SE 3.5, 4.5, and you got those also in a long wheelbase.
Of course, like the 109.
Yes.
Well, that was the...
That was the 300 SL. Then you got the 300 SEL range, which is the 109s.
But check out that video, actually. We did it, a couple of months ago now.
Yes.
Beautiful car, that. I'll share a link at the end of this video to that one.
But the range, in terms of engine specification available, was quite large.
Yeah. So lots of different options there.
Many different options.
So, Bells, what do you think, eh?
Drives nicely.
But how comfortable is that chair, eh?
It is. What do you think of the back one?
I think before Nick goes, I want to take it and I'm going to put my office chair in here. Do a quick swap.
You'll fall asleep at work.
Yeah, I know, that's the problem, eh? It really is. I mean, just sitting in the back and looking at the condition of everything, it really is beautiful there.
It's really comfy.
And I love the way in the past they used to put there, so instead of a radio, you know, instead of just some black, boring, blanking plate, they put, you know, what engine it is. So you know when you're driving along.
It is a nice touch.
It is nice, eh?
Yeah. And these steering wheels are really nice.
Yeah, I love the old bakelite steering wheel.
Oh, they're lovely.
It just sort of adds a bit of class, eh? But that said, you know, back in the early 70s, Wells, when your granddad he bought a 114,
Yeah.
and that was there was sort of a phase between the pre-facelift and the post-facelift in 1973, where the pre-facelift came with the latest steering. And I remember getting in, because his previous car had a bakelite steering like that. I remember getting in as a 5 or 6 year old, and I was amazed at how cool this new steering was, you know? It's funny how things change.
Yeah.
A common upgrade or accessory people would fit to their car would be the later steering wheels.
Yeah,
From the
back then.
114s, 116s.
Yeah.
Also the gear knobs, they would put the modern.
Yeah, and now we're going to try and find all those old ones they took off
Yeah.
to put back
Now
on.
we all want the old ones.
But yeah, everything has its time, eh? But even little touches like that interior light, I mean, it's just a quality that isn't around anymore, eh?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think that wraps up today's video. Thanks again, Nick. It's always such fun with the cars you bring past here. Bella, you enjoyed that one?
Yes.
Gonna buy one.
Maybe.
I think you should. Really a beautiful car, and this car is actually up for grabs. I'm going to share Nick's contact details in the post, and yeah, if you want to find out more about it, just give him a shout, and I'm sure he'll give you whatever information you need. Thanks for watching.